Welcome to the Last Chance Hotel. For some players remaining in training camp with the Winnipeg Jets, it's a final audition, so to speak, as the team plays the 7th preseason game tonight against the New Jersey Devils at BellMTS Place. For others, it's nothing more than a final tune-up. Naturally, the spotlight will be shining on the players on the periphery of the Jets roster, the forwards and defensemen who are battling for the final spots on the opening day roster. Up front, Kristian Vesal and Brendan Lemieux are back in the lineup for the 5th time of the preseason and on consecutive nights after facing the Wild in Minnesota last night. Vesal bolstered his chances by scoring a goal on Wednesday in a 4-3 loss to the Wild. Has he done enough to stick around beyond this weekend? I don't know, just put it all out there and play as good as I can, and hopefully do some good things, said Vesal. You have to ask them. I'm not the guy who can answer that. Yeah, I feel confident, but I know I can do better. So, it's mixed emotions. Also suited up for the 5th time in 7 games are forwards Jack Roslovic and Seth Griffith. On defense, Sami Niku gets his 5th game, as does Tucker Poolman, while Jacob Trouba and Josh Morrissey will each play their 3rd game. Maurice has a good handle on where the players on the bubble stand, but has been around long enough to know he's not going to alter his decision much based on the performance in one game. I don't think anyone's making the team, said Maurice. Game 1 does not guarantee you Game 2. It's a tougher existence for those players, but Kyle Connor didn't make our team last year, turned out to be a pretty good player for us. There's that. I don't know that if tonight, I've got you on a go list, that you're coming off that list. Everyone's had a fairly good opportunity, in my mind now, as who's getting into the lineup the opening night, but the practices over the next week are going to help decide that as well. Having said that, Maurice understands the nerves that are associated with players who are battling for a job. There is a break in camp. It used to be the 3-week mark because it used to be 5 weeks of camp, but the players almost separate themselves, said Maurice. There will be some guys physically they've pushed hard. They also deal with a whole different level of anxiety. Blake Wheeler knows he's making the team, so he's getting lots of good rest, so it's a routine for him. The kids that are competing for jobs aren't sleeping as well. Every drill there's pressure for them to perform, so they have a whole different set of circumstances they're dealing with. And then you see that for some, after maybe it's the 10 or 12 day mark, now they actually get stronger. There's a handful of guys that are fit enough that they haven't wasted a lot of energy worrying, and they recover faster, so they're able to get stronger, and the practices have made them better. And then there are guys that aren't quite there yet, and their bodies are getting fatigued. Mentally it's getting a little tougher for them, and there is a separation. Tonight's game not only wraps up the preseason, it's the end of a stretch of 6 games over 8 days, including 3 road trips, which meant the Jets carried way more bodies until the end of training camp. This has been a completely different experience for me, and we would have had nobody left here under normal years, said Maurice, noting the Jets plan to get close to 23 players this weekend, but may have a few more decisions to make before Monday's opening day roster deadline. So, we're getting guys that are playing deeper and deeper into camp, which means you get to play better rosters from the other team normally. We've kept players out of anything we've thought was egregious, 4 and 5. So there are young guys going 3 and 4. We don't have any of the veterans going back-to-back because they have to do that during the regular season. So, it's been good. Players who've earned it. CJ Zeus had a chance to show some things that he can do, whether he starts here or not. That's a real positive for him in his career. We have a far better understanding of his game now. The Jets will have the top line of Mark Scheifele, Wheeler and Connor, along with Brian Little between Matthew Perreault and Patrick Lane. Connor Hellebuyck makes his 3rd start of the preseason, while the Devils are expected to counter with Keith Kincaid. The Devils have most of their opening day lineup dressed, including reigning Hart Trophy winner Taylor Hall. Here's how the Jets are expected to start tonight's game. Forward Skyle Connor Mark Schieffel Blake Wheeler Matthew Perreault Brian Little Patrick Laine Kristian Vesal and Jack Roslovic Marco Dana Brendan Lemieux Seth Griffith Skylar McKenzie Defense Josh Morrissey Jacob Trubadil Morrow Tyler Myers Sami Niku Tucker Pool Mangolis Connor Hellebuy Kurt Comrie